Today's video is all about transfers, using transfers different ways on some thrifted items and creating some winter decor. To start off, I'll be applying a transfer to fabric, and I'm using drop cloth. And it's the same drop cloth that you use when you paint. There were a lot of questions in my Christmas video where I made the 3 trees out of drop cloth, so I'm going to try and answer all those questions. My favorite drop cloth is from Lowe's, and it is the 8-ounce canvas drop cloth, and I always wash it first. But I only iron the section that I'm going to work with, which is kind of a no-brainer. I started stenciling with a sponge, but the brush worked much better. And I stenciled the front and the back of the tree. It's a nice background for the transfers, and it makes the trees a little more interesting. And then I used wax paper and a craft iron to heat set the paint. And my next question that I get a lot is, yes, I do iron on my cutting mat. It's a heavy-duty cutting mat, and I've never had a problem. It's never melted yet. I'm using the Secret Garden Transfer by Redesign with Prima. And I like to cut the different pieces apart first before I start to apply. And applying a transfer to fabric is just like applying it to anything else, except it takes a lot longer. It takes longer because you're really trying to get it down in all the grooves of the fabric. And if you have some tips for applying transfers, please leave them in the comments. I have learned so many things from reading my comments. For the tree trunk, I'm using a spindle from this thrifted magazine rack and a tin bucket for the base that I had already spray painted in Heirloom White by Rust-Oleum. I don't use acrylic craft paint very often, so it's not in the best condition, but I used those to try to make a custom color that matched one of the browns in the transfer. And my only tip for mixing paint, don't do it on a paper plate. And that's the color that I used on the spindle or tree trunk. And I tried to get off most of the paint off the chip brush, and then I applied it to the bucket. Next was not a question, but a request. Can you show us a no-sew version? Now, when I put this tree together, I used a glue gun that I only use fabric glue sticks, but there are a lot of fabric glues out there. But the glue sticks dry really fast, so that's a plus. Before I seal up the bottom, I'm using the stuffing from a thrifted pillow. When you see this tree when it's all done, you'll notice that it needed to have a little more stuffing. I think it's always better to overstuff. To hold the tree up in the bucket, I'm using plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is pretty inexpensive and it's really easy to work with. Now, I should be wearing gloves. It's 2 parts plaster of Paris to 1 part water, and I just continued to do that till I filled up the bucket. And I should have had a plan for holding the tree in place till the plaster of Paris hardened, because I had to hold this for about 30 minutes. And the last question is, did you seal the transfers? Now, in the Christmas trees, I did not seal the transfers, so I thought I would try it in this one. But first, I wanted to do some samples. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to have some samples, and then I'm going to apply the sealer. The one on the left, I used fabric Mod Podge to seal it, and the one on the right, I used regular Mod Podge. I used both just to see if there was going to be a difference, but when they dried, I decided not to use a sealer at all. And you can see how the transfers pick up the texture of the drop cloth. And right there is where I needed a little more stuffing. Project number 2 is the more traditional way to use a transfer, and that's on wood. But first, I applied 2 coats of paint using a sponge because I didn't want any brush strokes. And remember in project number 1 where I said to not blend paint on a paper plate? This is why, because I'm going to use this brown paint throughout this video, and this paper plate is just going to slowly deteriorate. I applied the brown paint to the rim of this tray, which already had some grooves in it, so that was my guideline for applying the brown paint. And this is one of those applications of paint that is just never going to be perfect. You do the best that you can. And if there's a spot that you just cannot get right or it just bothers you, that's where you're going to put a transfer. The transfers for this tray are Greenery Grace by Redesign with Prima, and it's a sister transfer to Secret Garden. They have a lot of similar flowers, and they go really well together. When I'm using a transfer that has wording, I like to put the words down first and then figure out where the flowers are going to go. And I should have mentioned before this, normally you seal the paint before you apply transfers, but the paint I was using, Wiseowl 1 Hour Enamel, has a built-in sealer. And I am going to seal this tray after I apply the transfers. And because it is a tray, I'm going to seal it twice because it's probably going to have things set on it, and I just want to make sure that I've protected the transfers. Here's how the tray turned out. I think it would look good standing up in a vignette, but I think I'm going to use mine as the top of a basket for storage. And just for fun, I asked AI to make the tray look like a clock, and look, it gave it 3 hands. For the next project, I need to start by painting this thrifted wooden bucket, and I'm using Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral Paint in the color English Ivy. I couldn't get the paintbrush under those metal rims, but I could still see the original paint color. So how I dealt with that is I applied the paint above the rim and then I would mist it. And then the water would make the paint run underneath the rim. And that worked pretty well. It was messy, but it worked. I really want to give this bucket a rustic look, so I'm going to wet distress it. I'm just taking a damp paper towel and I'm going to rub wherever I want to remove some of that paint and give it a nice worn look. It is recommended to always seal the paint before you apply a transfer, but I'm doing a test right here with the transfer to see if it will stick to the chalk paint before I seal it. I painted it before work and then I applied the transfer after work, so it had plenty of time to dry. And the transfer worked fine, so I'm going to continue with all the rest of the transfers. Next, I'll be taking some 220 grit sandpaper and I'll be lightly sanding over each of the transfers. When you do this, it will make that bucket look like those transfers have always been on the bucket. I'm using Mod Podge to seal the bucket, and once it's dry, then I'll add the dark wax. I even put a little transfer on the inside of the bucket, and here's how it turned out. I thought this vignette that I'm trying to create needed something else green, so I had this in my stash, and when I have something that has a lot of color on it like this, I like to give it a coat of black flat spray paint. It's just the perfect base for painting it another color. And I'm using that brown paint that I mixed together. And you can see this paper plate it's disgusting, but I won't get that color again, so I'm really trying to use every little bit of this paint. Now, I said I wanted this to be green, but I did a coat of the brown because I'm going to do a crackle, and I want the brown to show through the green. I'm using Folk Art Crackle Medium, and you just put down a layer of the medium, you let it dry, and then you add your second color. Now, I'm not adding a whole lot of paint, and I think when you add more paint, you get a better crackle, but I'm still want the rustic look. And when it was all dry, you can see I didn't get a whole lot of crackle. So what I decided to do was pull out my crackle stamp and that same disgusting thing of paint. This time I added a little black to it because I wanted to deepen it up a little bit. And then I just want some light crackle. So that's why I am getting most of the paint off before I apply the stamp. And to clean the rubber stamp when I'm done, I just put it in a sink of soapy warm water. And I won't say it looks brand new, but it looks a lot better than it did right here, which was pretty bad. And when I was done doing this, I finally got to throw away that brown paint. And here's what each side looks like up close, with all the crackle and the transfers. I didn't think you wanted to watch me apply any more transfers. And the last project is applying a transfer to glass. And transfers go down so nicely on glass. And it was so easy, I just kept adding more transfers. Now to finish this project, I spray painted the base in heirloom white, and that base has been, I think this is the third color I've spray painted that base. The base and the glass vase, I guess it is, both came from Dollar Tree. I'm sure they still carry them. I've had them forever, but you can probably find something very similar. Use this Gorilla Glue to glue the glass to the base. The base was just a little too white for me, so I used Fusion Antiquing Glaze to give the base some distress. And when it was all done, I did seal the transfers. This is before and this is after. So you can see it's just a little bit cloudy, but I like the way it looked. And here is my winter vignette on my dining room table. And I think if I took away the greenery at the bottom, I think this would just be a neutral vignette. And I could have it throughout the year. But I'd really love to know what you think and if you had a favorite. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.